This is like a month of doing this, just about. Kind of enjoying it. Gonna get chirping for a while, as always. Brought to you by New Glarus Spotted Cow, only in Wisconsin. To be fair, they are not a real sponsor. I'm from Wisconsin and I drink Spotted Cow, so that's what's up. Badger Kings Rugby, on the other hand, Rizzo's been helping me out a bunch. Rizzo, Badger Kings Rugby, actually is a sponsor. So I appreciate Rizzo for everything he's done. Badger Kings Rugby, check him out. Honestly, he does a lot of stuff on Facebook. Covers just about everything Wisconsin rugby. Started with high school, has kind of moved on to doing everything Wisconsin rugby. Does a heck of a job, man. Check out Badger Kings Rugby. It's fantastic. Oh, that's nice. That's nice. So we'll begin here pretty quick with Six Nations. Six Nations, 4th out of 5 weeks. So this was a business one. I'll tell you what, man, that table got crowded, got really crowded. I'm going to double check on the standings right now because I don't even remember them off the top of my head. But the first game, again, Wales coming close, making progress. Couldn't get the W. Who they lose to? I believe that was Ireland. So yeah, Ireland now in 3rd. All right, so Ireland in 3rd at 14. Scotland and France tied at the top of the Six Nations at 16 points. Italy at 4th with 9 points. And Italy, I believe they've got Wales this next week, so that's a big one. I think that would be, if they beat Wales, that'll be the first time ever Italy has won 3 games in a Six Nations. So potentially victory over England. Speaking of big things, Italy, first ever victory over England. Massive. Dude, yeah, Armani, what's up, dude? Thanks for being on, man. Yeah, dude, that was such a good game. I've been pumping Italy so much since like before the tournament. And then, like, against all my instincts, I actually like predicted. I'm in like a pick'em pool, like against the spread. And I even made a freaking video where I'm like, but I think England's gonna get it together this week. Like, what was I doing? Like, my brain was like, no, bro, Italy's your team right now. Like, they've been looking so good. It's a perfect time for them to actually win this. No, I picked England, and unsurprisingly, to be honest, Italy like put the game together. I thought England got that score before halftime, so Italy are up like 10-5, and they had a scrum, and they could have just like kicked it out into touch and been done with it. And instead, 8-man picks it off the back of the scrum. He ends up knocking it on. England plays with the advantage and gains advantage, takes it into the 22. Finn Smith makes a really, really good cross kick to his wing. I think it was Freeman. Freeman was into center. So I think it was Roebuck on that wing and scores a try. So that's a huge, it goes from 10-5 at half Italy to 12-10 England. And at that point, I'm like, oh, momentum, because Italy just had scored. I'm like, okay, Italy had momentum going into half. This is looking good. All perfect. Fantastic. And then it's like, but if England gets it, no, England got the score. It's like, oh no, England has all this momentum. Then they had some penalties early in the second half. I'm like, they're kind of in control of this. Or no, I think they got another try. Italy did a good job. They chipped back with a penalty, and then they get that huge try to win it again. Cross kick again. Paulo Garbisi to Ioane on the wing. Ioane steps the first guy, does a great job of controlling into the tackle, offloads to Menoncello. Menoncello's been the stud of the tournament. He's mostly been an outside center. He was an inside center this week. Dude, he just runs over an English player, fixes the next defender, puts it back inside to his replacement center, Marin. He's in. Italy got, and then all they had to do was hold on, and they did. It was fantastic. Like the biggest win in if you're talking one single win, like in Italian rugby history, that was probably it right there on Saturday. That was such a fun game to watch. I loved it. I think that was the only one I actually got to go live for this weekend, and I friggin' loved it. Yeah, momentum spot on, Armani, dude. They chipped at it too. What's up, Puppy Kaipo? They chipped at it too with the penalties too, because I think England they were up like 8, and then they managed. Italy they took the points, and then they had they could have probably kicked one to go up 1. They kicked it to the corner and they tried a maul. They got taken into touch. But they did a really good job of like chipping at that lead and turning it into a 1-score game by taking those penalties, like 20 minutes or so left in the game. And then the momentum's like, It's like, oof, man, they took it. Their forward pack has been so good. Like, if I was making like a forward pack of the tournament, like half of them would be Italians. Like, their back row's been on fire. Their front row's been so good. Is probably the first time actually this tournament where I think like England kind of seemed like they were getting the better of them in the scrum. I seem to recall when I was watching it and streaming it, I was like kind of disagreeing with some of the referee calls up there, but then it's like, oh, he's on this side. He's making the call from that side. I'm watching the opposite side of the scrum. That was wild. But no, man, it's momentum. Momentum is such a thing in rugby. And then the other Six Nations game, like Scotland beating Italy, like Scotland, it plays so much. This is like how France is in the top 14, like their professional league. Is like, it's cool. You do not lose at home. You're not allowed to lose at home. If you lose at home, you're the worst ever. And then you go on the road. It's like, it's okay to win it. It's cool to lose on the road. Like, whatever. Oh yeah, they're gonna play really hard because it's home game, whatever. Murrayfield, for Scotland, their stadium in Edinburgh, like they beat England there, they beat France there. Like, I think in both of those games, they were they were big underdogs this weekend against France. They would have been underdogs in that England game as well. Like, Murrayfield is actually a fortress. I checked the stats on it too. Like, Italy or Scotland's win percentage at Murrayfield is like way better. They win like 2 out of 3 test matches at home, and that includes a lot of times the Southern Hemisphere teams will come there in November. So that's where a lot of their losses come from. But they win 2/3 of their games at home, and they win like just over 40% of their games on the road. So like, it's a huge difference, like a huge difference when Scotland plays at home at Murrayfield versus when they go on the road. That was another fun game to watch. Like, I've been saying it all tournament, like France has this thing where France, what's that term? Oh, the all tournament forward pack. If I put it together, let me finish on the games, and then we'll go into that. Actually, that's a good question. I like that, Armani. That's a good question. But like France, they have this thing where they look great for a while, and then they'll just have a game where they like they look terrible. Like, they make all these silly errors, like things just don't go. Like, there it was. To be fair, they got the bonus point, which was huge. So they've still got them. I think this is silly with the way the Six Nations is set up. So France and Scotland are tied atop the standings now with 16 points. I like men? No, I'm married. I got a wife and kid. I'm down with chicks. I like to play rugby with men, but I do not like men in the way I think that you're inquiring. So France and Scotland are tied at 16 points atop the standings, but France technically, because their point differential is like way better. They've been smoking teams up until they lost to Scotland this weekend. Scotland's point diff is they're 3-1, but their point diff is only plus 21, whereas France is plus 79. So even though Scotland beat them head to head, France still, if these two teams, if they were to both win their games this weekend, and they both they both get a bonus point or don't get a bonus point, like France was probably going to win this on point differential, even though Scotland beat them head to head, which like I disagree with. I think that should be like another tiebreaker down. The Six Nations, like everybody plays everybody. It's 5 matches across, so there's going to be a head-to-head matchup. I would say it's like record / like points. Then you can have head-to-head because like the teams played each other, and then in the unlikely event that they actually they tied in their head-to-head, then go to point diff. But the fact that like France, like if France wins this, if them and Scotland end up tied on standings points, and France wins this because of their point diff, but they lost to Scotland, like I feel like that's a little bit of a travesty for Scotland. But all right, and then England, oh my God. England losing to Italy, shame. 3 in a row. I love it because I always root against England, but man, that's got to be rough in camp. Everyone's like, the English media, 3 bad games are calling for Steve Borthwick's head as his head coach. Like, wild. There's a couple cards. Maro Itoje's card, so he's a captain. He got carded for it was silly. Like, he reached across a maul, swats the ball out of the scrum half's hands, and he gets yellow carded for it. And so for a while, Italy were playing up 2 men. And then another one, they're still, Itoje's still in the bin. So they're still, England's still down another man. Like, that was a really, really crucial yellow card. And an Italian player had gotten one earlier for swimming his elbow through a ruck and knocking a ball out of a scrum hand's hands too. And Itoje just, I get it. Sometimes in a rugby game, you see something and you just make a decision and then you're like, oh gosh, why did I do that? But he just clear as day, just reaches over, swats the ball out of the scrum half's hands, yellow card, 10 minutes off. All right, well, Cap, you screwed it up. All right, but if I was going to make an all tournament, all forward pack team, Armani, I gotta go, dude. Yeah, like discipline issues or just like lack of execute. Like they're not playing with confidence. Like it's just bad. Like things have, I mean, you talk like in a month, England has gone from like, they're like, oh, they might be the best team in the world. They could beat the Springboks to like, fire the coach. They don't belong in the lineup. This guy's trash. Like a year ago, they were trying to say Maro Itoje is like the best lock, like the greatest English lock of all time. He's a very good player, but like I think that's hyperbole. And now like people are like they want his head. They're like, no, get him off the pitch. He doesn't even belong starting. Whatever. I don't know. The English media is crazy. I honestly feel bad for the players and for Borthwick, but at the same time, they're just not executing. Okay, but if I'm putting together an all tournament forward pack, I'm going to go. It's got to be the Welsh loosehead Carr or Carre or whatever, Carre, try of the freaking tournament. Like big loosehead problem. And he's had a few tries. Like he's scrummed well. He's been like a big threat with ball in hand. That's at least his second, maybe his third try of the tournament. He's got to be my loosehead, I think. Hooker's a tough one. I think I'm gonna go Italy with this one. I can't remember either. They've got Alligator. What the heck's his name is the tight head? I think I'm gonna go Italy for Hooker and tight head. I would maybe, to be honest, I've always thought Jamie George is a little overrated, but he has brought some like serious presence to the England. They brought him in. He didn't start the one game. And then Colin Dickey wasn't throwing lineouts. And if there's one thing Jamie George can do, he's really good at. He throws dimes at the back of the lineout. So I would say runner up, Jamie George, honestly, for England. Hitting presence. He's really good at the back. But I got to go Italy. So I'm going to go Carr from Carre, whatever the heck it is. French win. No, French lost this week, man. French won that lost this week. I'm going to go the Welsh fella at loosehead. And then I'm going to go the Italians at hooker and tight head. In the second row, probably Olivan from France. He turns up in the loose, and he's one of the two French locks, I would say. Either Mikel, what the heck is his name? He's the man of the match in the first game. He was a young fella. Mikel Mikel something. Big physical. He's so impactful in the loose. Like defense and offense, like all his carries, like it's just gain line. French in one. Honestly, I hope they smoke England this weekend, and I'd be real cool with France winning the Six Nations. They just had that one game, and Scotland got him at Murrayfield. Yeah, I think Olivan has got to be one of the locks. My other locks. I could go with both of the French locks, honestly. I think Guillard, Mikel, he's been he's a young guy, super physical, turns up. But Olivan, like I've said in a few of the streams when I'm doing commentary, like he turns up like in loose play. And Yugos Balkans, dude, I like it. I like the French team. I think they're super fun to watch. They just Scotland came out and got them this weekend. I think France beats England and probably gets a bonus point and wins this tournament. But I think Scotland. So then we got Scotland, Ireland. That'll be a good one. Let's go to loose forwards now. Loose forwards. One of the Lamaro at 6 for Italy. I think I gotta say him as my 6. He has been played. He's a captain. He's been just played out of his mind. Yeah, I kind of like that pick actually. I think Italy. I think Ireland are hosts, so I think they're hosting Scotland this weekend. And then if they get the dub, they're number 2. I like that call, Yugos Balkans, dude. Spot on. I'm with you on that. I think if I was going to handicap it, I'd say France beats England and wins the tournament. And I think Ireland, probably being the home team, I think they get past Scotland, and then that puts them in number 2, and then that bumps Scotland back to 3. And then I think Italy's going to beat Wales. I got 2 more loose forwards though. Let's think about this. Who would my other 2 loose forwards be? Honestly, Jégu from France, number 7. I think he's 7. He's played really, really good. Jégu, I think I got to go Lamaro from Italy at 6. I think I got to go Jégu at 7. English. Yeah, I was gonna say Ben Earl. Ben Earl was gonna be my number 8. Yep. Yeah. Armani, you're on right there. Yeah. Like I think Ben Earl has played freaking fantastic. Like I don't think you can blame any of England's struggles on him. Like he's been an absolute monster around the pitch. He was kind of my go-to for 8. I don't think anyone has played quite as well as him. Yeah, Lamaro at 6, Jegu from France at 7, Ben Earl at 8. So let's see. What is that? 3. It's only 3 Italian players. To be fair, I think one of their locks. If I was gonna go with another lock, I would say like I can't. I'm trying to differentiate between the Italian locks, but Italy's whole forward pack has played well. I would say if you take Girard. I can't. Why can't I remember this fella's name? I definitely go with Olivan, and then I would say probably an Italian lock is the other one. My Probably if I was gonna pick an honorable mention, Jack Conan for Ireland. I've always been a big fan of his. He doesn't start every game, but man, he's got a nose for the try line. He turns up at the right spots. I would probably put him as like a kind of like Jamie George is like an honorable mention for hooker. I would probably go honorable. Honestly, oh man, the French hooker's been so damn good though too. That hooker spot's tough. I think I gotta go with it with as dominant as the Italians have been in the scrum. But yeah, Underhill's been good too. I just think with England being so bad, I feel like I only can pick one of them because as poorly as England has done, and if I got to pick one of them, it's going to be Ben Earl. I agree. Underhill's played well. Those two guys, like you can't really fault them for what's happened with England. I'd say a lot of England's problems have kind of come down to the back line. Their forward pack hasn't played great. Their front row, Ellis Genge has gotten pinged a lot. Hasn't probably played his best. He's had some good plays, but then he's also had some silly penalties. He mishandled the ball that gifted Scotland one of those tries a few weeks ago. Yeah, like I feel like the English props have not been up to snuff, and I think that's hurt them a lot. But I would say a lot of England's, if I was gonna like chalk England's struggles up to a specific thing, I would say it's their backline play just has not been good enough. And you see, like I thought George Ford played fantastic in the first game. Now he's not even in the 23. He's been pretty bad thereafter. I thought Finn Smith, he did some things really well. I thought he played kind of poorly the first 15, 20 minutes of that game this weekend. Then I think he got it together. I thought the cross kick for the try before halftime was fantastic. But yeah, if I'm blaming England's struggles on one of the position groups, I would say it's probably more their backline that just have not their centers just haven't. There hasn't been anything. If you want to, if I was going to keep going with this and go like build a back line, I would say Gibson Park for Ireland is probably my 9 of the tournament. Even above DuPont, though, that's tough because DuPont has been fantastic. I don't know. Those two can fight it out. Both of them have been phenomenal. That's a tie between Gibson Park and DuPont. DuPont is, I would say, overall the better player, but I like Jamison Gibson Park has been lights out all tournament. So, let them fight it out. Fly half, that would be an interesting one. Finn Russell, to be honest, or if Francis had consistency, but that Jalibert, it would have been Jalibert, but then he's been hurt, so he hasn't been in the lineup all the time. Pollock, yeah, they started him at 8. They started him at 8 that one match. I thought, he does seem he's an energy guy off the bench. I think if that's another one where like the English media have anointed a guy like, wow, he's incredible. I think I don't see the downside to starting him, especially this last game of the tournament. I think if you talk about a guy who bring him on for 20 to 25 to finish a match, like, dude, his body height at contact carrying a ball is fantastic. Yeah, I think I got to go Finn Russell too with that, Armani. Like you've had in England, Ireland, they changed from Prendergast to Crawley. Crawley's played well since he's been on, but like he didn't even play the first 3 halves really of the tournament. Barely. He came in at the end of the first game. Wales, no, definitely not. I like Garbisi for Italy, but I think Finn Russell is just next level. If Jalibert would have stayed healthy, I think you could definitely could have made a case for him, but he didn't stay healthy. So yeah, I got to go Finn Russell. Like Finn, ever since like the first time I remember him like on debut, and I'm like, whoa, I like that guy. He takes chances. But like as he's in the last 5 years, like his game has matured so much. He's always been able to like pull a rabbit out of a hat and make like a crazy play here and there. But like you've seen more like makes higher and higher percentage decisions. And like, yeah, I don't think any 10 has played the way Finn Russell has throughout this. And I think he's been on the pitch like pretty much the entire tournament. Like, I agree. I got to go Finn Russell. Centers, I got to go Menoncello from Italy. It's not even close. I mean, he's been the center of the tournament. I'd put him at outside because that's what he's mostly played, even though he played inside this last weekend. Absolute freaking beast, monster. Like that dude, so legit. He's been so good. I'm going to go at inside center. What's his name? The Ulster fella for Ireland. Why is he? McCluskey. McCluskey's played really, really well. In the absence of Bundy Aki, completely stepped up, filled that role really well, scored tries. He's been really good. Yeah, Finn has such unreal vision. Yeah, dude. He sees things, and kind of like DuPont at scrum half. Like he just makes plays that other people can't make. He'll take a risk, and you'll be like, oh, it worked. Like Finn Russell and Antoine DuPont both at halfbacks, like they make plays that nobody else in the world can make. And like for that reason, like when they're on, like nobody can touch them. Centers, I'm going McCluskey and Menoncello for sure. That's a pretty easy pick. I think at fullback I got to go Ramos from France. I think he would, but they've moved him, so he has moved to fly half as Jolly Bear's gotten hurt. But like his kicking, he's maybe missed two, and France have just scored so much. He is the best kicker from tee, like most consistent kicker from the tee in World Rugby. So I'm going to say Ramos, even though he's kind of moved over to fly half in Jolly Bear's absence. I got to go Ramos at 15. Wingers, that's a tough one. I think you got BLBRE for sure. He is so explosive. I think he's like an easy pick. I think you just can't not pick him. Other winger, that's tough. I could make a case for a few different guys. Honestly, even at 15, Ramos, it's still Ramos. I have enjoyed like Reece Zammit has still looked good. Maybe this last week he fell at those first couple games for Wales. Like he's still making plays with his feet. Even Osborne, the big ginger fellow who's playing 15 for Ireland, like he's in the conversation. I would say if I'm going to say Ramos is a 15 because that's where he played, at the start of the tournament, and he's just moved to fly half because of injury, I'm going to say Ramos. If I had to pick a second, I would pick Osborne, the fly half from Ireland. I think he's got a big left boot on him. I don't know if he scored any tries. If he has, maybe one, but he's been like rock solid back there. He's done a lot with his toe. He's been a good ball carrier in counterattack. He turns up, but yeah, I'm going to go Ramos at 15. BLBRE for sure for one winger. You could make it an all French back three and take Adesagba. I would say as Ramos goes to fly half now, Adesagba's gone to 15. But Adesagba, like that back three for France is, so much of their line breaks and their explosive plays have come on the edges, and they do some of these things where they attack kind of like that 15 channel, or like in counterattack where they take a step, the kick will come, dude will take a step or two in, like into midfield, and then he'll turn right back and he'll hit one of those wingers on the side, and like off they go. You see him do it over and over again so effectively. Yeah, I'm trying to think, Darcy Graham for Scotland, you could put him in the conversation. Elliot Daly, yeah. I thought he played okay. I don't think he looked bad this weekend. I just think he's probably a little, what's up, love cars? I think Daly's just like, no, I think he should be on the field. I think they needed to make a change there. But a lot of that was because they moved Freeman into, or no, not free. Yeah. Because they moved Freeman in. Or was Freeman playing on the wing? Jeez, I can't remember this now. No, I think Daly's he's had a great long, thank you. I appreciate it. This is the Midwest Barbarians. It's a Midwest All-Star college rugby team I coach. I think you can make a case for Darcy Graham for sure from Scotland as a winger, but I'd go Ramos, BLBRE, and like Adesagba or Darcy Graham, I would say on that wing. Yeah, no, I think Elliot Daly, I understand why they brought him back into the lineup. I think he's a vet who's had a great career. I don't think there's any reason not to pick him. I don't think if I compare him to Ramos, I feel like he's like, if you're talking like elite best fullbacks in the world, like Elliot Daly's is a second tier guy. I could see, what's up, Sergey from Russia? Thanks for being here, dude. I think I can't make a case for Elliot Daly being like a top 5 fullback in the world anymore. And I think like 3 to 5 years ago, I think you could make that case. Like he was super, super like he's one of the best fullbacks in the world. I don't think you can make that case. Some of that might be age. Some of that's just maybe where England's at right now as a team. But yeah, no, I think I wouldn't be surprised to see him still in the lineup. I thought he played okay this past weekend, but like England are just overall in shambles. Like Daly's just like he's getting near the tail end of his career. Good for him for picking up some more test caps and everything. A lot of times when things aren't going right for a team, it makes sense. Like put some veterans out there, put some guys who have been there. So then you see it. So Jamie George, Itoje, a guy like Elliot Daly, like it makes sense to have them out there. It's just not coming off. Yeah, I would say Mark. Yeah, Freddie Stewart's a big, especially with as many high balls as there is in international rugby now. There's these constant box kicks, and it's just like these 50-50 high balls. Like I think Freddie Stewart is probably better under the high ball than Daly. I think that's a lot of reason why Freddie Stewart has had so many games in that shirt for England is because he's a big dude and he's good under the high ball. And Marcus Smith is just so electric. I'm surprised they haven't played Marcus Smith more. He's been on the bench every single game. I feel like England need to do something different. If it was me, but this is probably because I really like exciting fly halves, I would have probably started Marcus Smith instead of Finn Smith at 10 this last week for England. I think Marcus Smith, it's that other thing where like he just has that little something extra. But to be fair, whereas like a Finn Russell and DuPont, they've got that something extra even at the international level. There's been a lot of criticism around Marcus Smith, and I think some of it's justified. That he's got that extra something special at the club level. He's so undersized that like at the international level, he just doesn't, there's just a little less space, a little less time for him to do what he does. But if it was me, I would have started Marcus Smith instead of Finn Smith, but it's not me. I mean, I'm not going to pretend that I know more about rugby than Steve Borthwick. So yeah. No, it's this is going to be another awesome weekend. I love the Six Nations is usually like a pretty tight tournament, and by Scotland knocking off France this last weekend, complete like everything to play for basically every team. So Italy at number 4, if they win 3 games, that's their best Six Nations ever as a nation. All right, that would be super cool and great for them, and they would deserve it. But they're against Wales, who has 1 point, 1 bonus point. And so I think Wales is the home team this weekend. So everything to play for both of them. England versus France, always that massive rivalry game at the end. England are in shambles. They got to get it right. France, if they win, can probably win the tournament. And then Scotland, Ireland, same thing too. Like conceivably, Ireland could still win the tournament. If Ireland beats Scotland and France were to lose to England, well, Ireland wins the tournament. So like everything to play for. It's really cool. Like a lot of times the Six Nations come down to the final weekend, and this one's going to, and I love it. Like I'm excited. It's almost every game. There's been like a couple of those blowouts, especially the Wales game. Their early 2 matches were kind of blowouts, but like most of the time, like these are fun rugby matches to watch, and that's what I want. Like, other than like I root against England, and I kind of have like this bias towards like I've always kind of liked France because they're usually fun to watch play. But then I've also been backing Italy lately. I'm a Finn Russell fan. Like I kind of like Ireland too. I like some of their players a lot. I always like the Ulster guys because I got friends up there and I've been to matches there. And I really think like the regions in Ireland, like the provincial teams, it's for a lot of the last 5+ years, almost decade, it's been like Leinster. And you're seeing Munster and Ulster really have made a lot of progress. Connacht, I think, has fallen off a little bit again. Connacht had always been like the bottom of Irish rugby in the provinces. They had, 5, they kind of came up and were making some progress. I think they've kind of fallen. I just love to see competitive games and exciting games, and the Six Nations has massively lived up to that. So cool. Other thing, I did a coaching presentation, a coach education thing this last weekend in Madison, Wisconsin. Super, super cool. It was make rugby fun and safe and fun. But I was half of it. And so I did make rugby more fun and safer and more fun. And so it was cool. We had like 15 coaches. We got him moving around. I had him doing some fun activities. I had him do like some rock, paper, scissors tournaments. I was trying to give him examples of how you can like spice up practice and make it more interesting and make it more fun for the participants. We talked a lot about the importance of safety, what we can do to modify contact and get better at contact skills without actually, while still making it intense. And so that's like you can add padding, you can slow the speed, like the approach to it, and but then you can still have like the finish be intense. You can modify like almost any rugby drill to like bring extra things out of it, be that more intensity, be that a focus on a specific technical aspect. And I thought that was super fun. We finished it out on the grass. I showed him another one. This is a big one I love doing defensively, is to work on tackling. Is most people think of tackling as like I wrap up. There it's always like wrap up. And so then you end up, okay, you reach and you wrap and you reach and you and like what you need to do to make a good tackle is get in front of them, stop momentum, have a good final step, change levels well, make good shoulder contact, leg drive through contact and everything. And so the most effective thing I've ever found for that is to work on tackling without hands. And just so it's all about the tracking, the approach, the footwork, the shoulder contact, the head placement, the leg drive through the contact. And I think a couple of the coaches mentioned they really like that. And we did some tracking stuff as well. And I think I helped out. I hope so. I sent my presentation to them and everything. It was a bucket of fun though. Big shout out to Madison United Rugby, Brad Dufek, all the coaches that were there. Jess Berto was my fellow presenter. We had a blast. I think there was good value there. It was good to see like a diversity of coaches too. You know, a lot of times rugby coaches kind of like skews towards like old white dudes. And there was the largest number of people there were old white dudes, but there was young people, there was young women, there was middle-aged women, there was not everyone was just a white dude. Like we had representation. It was really cool to see some diversity actually in the coaching ranks. And I really always want to like back that and pump that because like I even pulled the one young lady aside. So she's from Stevens Point. She goes to school in Madison and she drives up to Stevens Point to coach her old high school team. It's freaking like the dedication right there. And after it ended, she was leaving. I'm like, oh, hold on. Hey, what was your name again? Blah, blah, blah. Like, hey, find the next, like, shout out to you, like find the next young lady and get them into coaching. Cause like the dedication shown by that, like she's driving like an hour and a half, a couple times a week. She's a young college student. She's going all the way back to give back and coach her high school team. And then she's giving up a Sunday to come learn from somebody like me and to hopefully get a little better as a coach. It's super cool. Yeah, I mean, I can think of like my original, like 15 years ago, it was all old white dudes and maybe like one or two young white dudes who were like, just, okay, like I'm going to start coaching now. And now I'm starting to see like, okay, we're getting some people of color. More women are stepping forward and getting willing to coach. I think that's only progress. Which brings me to, I think the last thing I want to talk about tonight. I could like ranted into my phone here earlier today, put it on the channel as well. Like Alona Mar is like such a massive opportunity for rugby in America. I don't think that like not even community rugby specifically, I don't think they're doing enough to capitalize on this. There has never been a rugby player, man, woman. I look like Bobby Fischer. He was good at chess. I kind of do actually. Oh, you got an LOL out of me on that one, dude. I kind of do look like Bobby Fischer. Back when I had hair and no beard, I used to get told I looked like James Blunt, but that was a lot of hair and a lot less facial hair ago. But I really don't like. There's never been a rugby player that Forbes every year they do a list of the 25 highest earning athletes in the world. Okay, 25 men, 25 women. There has never been a rugby player on that list, ever. Man, woman, whatever. Never been a rugby player. There's not enough money in rugby. Alona Mar was number 20 on that list of female athletes for 2025. Number 20, and like eight some $1 million. That is like wildly operated. Like there's never been a rugby player, especially an American rugby player, with such a high profile, who gets so much media attention, who has so many brand partnerships and endorsements. Like anything we can, like that is like the biggest opportunity in the history of American rugby. And I don't think like the national governing body is like doing squat really with it. Like anything that gets rugby in front of more kids in America is like a massive, massive, massive thing. And here we have the most, as far as social media numbers go, like, and honestly, probably in earnings too, like the most high profile rugby star in the world is an American woman. We got to capitalize on that. Like it's just, I feel like it's like staring the game in the face. And like, man, she's got haters, but if you got haters, like you're doing something right. I always find like the small people who like talk crap on the internet, like, okay, well, your life is probably a lot less cool than the person you're talking crap about. And like if you got haters, you're doing something right. Alona Mar's been doing something, a lot of things right for quite some time. And I think like as a rugby community in America, like, dude, that's our best shot right now. Until the home World Cups, our best shot is like, all right, that's our most famous rugby player. That might be the most famous rugby player in the world. It definitely is as far as social media following. It's probably close, if not the very top, as far as earnings, like man or woman. Like, whoa, let's get behind this. Let's pump this. Oh, spotted cow break. Oh, I talked my whistle dry. But like I said in the like video I posted earlier today about this, like, think Perry Baker. So like, yeah, 6, 7, 8 years ago, Perry Baker, he was the best sevens player in the world for a couple years. Like, dude was electric, superstar. Not even close. It's not even like Alona Mar, like the profile she has is like 10, 20, 30 times what Perry Baker had as far as like a public profile when he was at the top of his game. And even then, like Perry Baker was just known pretty much in the American rugby and the world rugby world. Like his appeal didn't really transcend. It didn't go out into broader American society. Alona Mar is known within broader American society. She's got a Barbie for freaking, like, literally got a Barbie. Like, she's on, like, I went to in Colorado this last summer, I went to go buy sunscreen and there's Alona Mar in Coppertone. Like she's like a Maybelline endorser or something. The Mighty All Blacks. Yeah, you're not wrong there. They're still good. Springboks, I think, are still got them by a bit, but like the All Blacks, yeah, they're always going to be right there, one of the best. Yeah, the Mighty All Blacks, we ain't touching them in America anytime soon, that's for sure. But no, like literally, she's a walking advertisement for the sport, and like she's pretty much doing it on her own. Like I just can't see how, like, they got to do any. Can I recommend what team I should support in rugby? You're a soccer fan. International. I mean, I want to say America, but like our American women are pretty good. It's hard to go wrong with New Zealand. They're fun to watch. And both their men and their women are like world class. On the women's side, the Black Ferns or England are the best. If I had to pick a team for you, honestly, Fiji Sevens. Like Fiji Sevens would be the one I would tell you. If you're a soccer fan and you're new to rugby, go check out Fiji's Sevens team. Like they are, you'll figure it out right away. They play so unique. It's a tiny island nation of a bunch of small islands. Like it's relatively poor, like, but it's like their natural, like that is, thank you. Have I seen it? Yeah. Oh yeah. I've seen New Zealand women's rugby. Oh yeah. Portia Woodman just retired. That's a big loss for the game, but like they'll keep rolling, man. Georgia Miller, like, bro, she's a dog. Like she kills it. Yeah. Fiji, the island. Yes. Their men's sevens team. Their sevens rugby, so 7-on-7 is like the national sport of Fiji. And like you can go to anyone, you can go to like a remote island in Fiji. You could be in Suva, and yeah, like the comp there is good. You could go like to like little island over there that's got like a couple hundred people, and there's like 3 dudes on that island that are like world-class rugby players, but they're just hanging on their island, like playing one touch and stuff. Like they're legit, man. They're super legit. If you're a non-rugby person, and I was going to tell someone like, hey, like be a fan of this team, like the Fiji men, they won the first 2 gold medals in sevens at the Olympics. Like France got this last one when they hosted, but Fiji won the first 2 Olympic sevens. That was the first gold. I think it was the first medal maybe ever in Fijian history. Definitely the first gold medal. Um, but yeah, I would say like if I was telling somebody who's like not a rugby person to like, hey, go check them out and be a fan of them, like Fiji Sevens, like they're everything that's right about the game. It's Fiji Sevens. Thanks, dude. Striker Van Kelly, man, I appreciate it. Yeah, like Sevens has gotten like it kind of came up. I really think World Rugby screwed that up really bad. Like I do think they had like the tournaments were independently managed, and there were some of them were like wildly successful, and we got like the Olympics and everything. Sir, you look like a guy that traveled. Yeah, I did a lot, man. A lot of travel, mostly for rugby stuff. But like I just like Fiji is like Fijian Sevens is like everything that's right about rugby. It's organic. It's part of their culture. They're so fun to watch. They've got their own style that's like free flowing and like just oh yeah, watch some Fiji Sevens for sure. Yeah, get on YouTube and watch Fiji Sevens. I would really encourage it. And then like even learn about like they got such a cool culture, like very family focused. They treat their elders like wonderfully. Like it's a very Christian nation. Like they're big into God and family and stuff. But like they are like warriors out on the field. And like I did, I played against a lot of Fijians, and you love having them on your team, and you hate to see them on the other team because they bring it. They bring it, and they know what they're doing. So rugby dudes can get a little intense. I love Funk Congress. I love that name. That's awesome. That's a good one. I like it. Yeah. No, yeah. Speaking of traveling, yeah, like rugby took me all over the world for sure. Yeah, I play rugby in my kids' room when they need to clean them. The PlayStation's a ball. Nice. Yeah, like I was, I'm from like tiny town in Wisconsin. I grew up my graduating class was 57. Town, which I grew up outside of town, is like 800 people. I went to college and I picked it up. I was a basketball player. Like I got sick of basketball, didn't want to do it in college. And I'm like, nope, I'm gonna do this rugby thing. Loved it. And then my third year of college, I got this guy who coached us briefly. He traveled around the world a lot to tournaments and stuff. And he invited a few of us college kids to go to a tens tournament in Phuket, Thailand. And I was like, me and two other dudes, we like were teammates, we were roommates, we worked at the bar together. We're all like, yeah, we can do this. Let's do this. Okay. And so we played in this tournament, had this awesome thing. And I was like, oh, I'm coming back next year. And so like for 3 years in a row, I'd go to Phuket and play tens. And then I graduated college and I'm like, I'm gonna try and make rugby my like a career out of this, and I'm gonna travel the world while I'm young. So I just bought that winter. I just bought a one-way ticket to Southeast Asia and ended up living in Phuket for a while. I got a team in Bangkok that I played with. So the first time I went with an American team, and after that, I ended up just like I brought friends, and then I had made friends with this Bangkok team. So they're like, yeah, you're one of us, like come back every year or whatever. And then pretty soon, a couple years later, like they're like fighting over who's like guest room I get to stay on in Bangkok. It's awesome. You're from Northlands, New Zealand? Oh, you're living in Oz? Common story for New Zealanders. I've been to New Zealand a couple times for sure. Physical or speed more, mass or pace? Depends. If I was gonna say sevens, I'd say pace for sure. If depends on your body type. Like, if you're a forward in 15s, I'd say being big is helpful. The nice thing about rugby is like versatility, especially on a 15s field. Like there's tiny dudes, there's huge dudes. I would say as someone who's coached a lot and who's coached a lot of guys who've ended up going on to be professionals and stuff, I would say that I'll always take a fast guy over like you just got to get huge. Like if you can't move, you can't move. So I'd say speed over size, to be honest. Northland. So I spent a lot of time in Canterbury. I went the World Cup in 2011. I spent a couple weeks down there, and then the next winter. So I lived in Asia for a couple winters. Like I'd fly back. Like the rugby season would end in the States in like November, or like where I'm from in the States up north. So like November, I'd like hunt deer, and then be like, okay, I'm out. I'd go to Asia for a few months, and then I'd come back in like early April when rugby season would start again and stuff. So love it. Oh yeah, Japan for sure. In college, hold up, man. You guys, what study you take in college? I was a business major actually. I did it because like, I'm gonna study and get a degree. I ended up getting an MBA. Japan's team, yeah. No, NRL solid. I mean, they just had the Vegas thing in NRL. I would say Japan, like their pro league has gotten so good. There's so much, it's like the French top 14 where they got so much money in it. And they kind of like, I think they did a really good job. And I'll be interested to see if the States can match this, where they like pumped rugby in that lead up to the 2019 World Cup. And then they beat the Springboks and they made the quarterfinals and stuff. So I don't know. I wouldn't say they've really made more progress since then, but like 2019 they took like a massive leap up in that lead to it, and then how they performed in that World Cup. So I would say they're still on that level. I mean, they're a level up from the States for sure. Maoris and Islanders are bigger, yeah, for sure. I got a bunch of Samoan and Tongan friends, man, and those they don't feel like full like the way like freaking the Pahekas do, man. Like they like literally like, oh, I'm keep eating. Like, no, they, man, if you want to go to a feast with a Samoan or a Tongan family, like you will be stuffed for days. What's up, Christopher? Thanks for being here. Yeah. You just, hey, thanks for subbing, man. I appreciate it. No, I love rugby. It's taken me all over the world. As an American from a tiny little town, it took me all over the world. I kind of like my goals were I'm going to find a way I'm going to see if I can make a career in rugby. So I was like 22 when I made up my mind. I'm like, okay, I'm going to give this 10 years. And if in 10 years, this isn't my career, I'll do something else. And it was about 7 years when I finally started getting paid to coach full time. I got a lot of free travel out of it. But never, I knew I was a good player, and still I'm 41 now and I still play quite a bit. I played the other weekend, out in the snow, but like I always knew I'm a better coach than a player. And so I coach full time for over a decade now. I love it. And then I just had my first baby. So my wife, who's a much better rugby player than me, we moved back to Wisconsin, and I actually quit my full-time coaching gig. So this channel's kind of me just staying in the game. I'm helping coach a few different things. What about goals like love of life? Oh, bro, like you should love what you're doing would be what I would tell anybody. Anybody. If you don't do anything, you got to work to make money always. And if you got to do something you don't like for a while, do it. You got to do what you got to do. I worked a lot of crap jobs, like to travel and that stuff while I pursued rugby until it started to pay me. But like ultimately you want to do something you love. And I'm super blessed that I've gotten to do something I love for quite some time. When I was abroad, what dish that I think the best ever, I got to go with a good Thai curry. Like I love Thailand. Like that is like my spot. Like that's where I really like fell in love with traveling abroad. And then like, a lot of time in Thailand more than anything. I lived in Laos for a while. I've kind of been all around that Southeast Asia, kind of like all the way Hong Kong to Singapore, but a lot of time in Thailand. And then a lot of time in New Zealand. The one winter I spent the whole winter in New Zealand. So I was there for the World Cup for a few weeks, and then my buddy's dad died, and he had a farm, and it was like right in the middle of like renovating the house when his dad died. And so it was like, I was like, hey man, I'll come spend the winter with you and help you finish renovating the house. And then I spent like the last month of it, just like I rented like a crappy little car, and I just drove around the South Island camping, like out of the car for a month. It was fantastic. Thank you. I appreciate it. Bless you too, man. Yeah, my wife is a absolute beast. Absolute beast. She's a way better rugby player than I. She represented the USA. She was like a college All-American, never at the senior level, but she was like I think she was a U20 Eagle, U23 for the like national team, and she's a college All-American. And she chose to like focus on her career and go to grad school instead of like going for the senior side. So she still plays a little bit, and her team's in the playoffs, national playoffs here this spring. She plays for a team in Milwaukee. But yeah, no, definitely if I got to pick a dish, I got to go with like a good Thai curry, just Thai food in general. But like a good Thai, like a green curry from Thailand would be my pick for food. And then close second, Laos, larb. They'd say lap. It's spelled like larb, usually Larb, but it's lap. It's kind of like a minced meat, and then there's like chilies, but then also you get like mint in there and stuff. Oh, that's bomb. Or samtam, which is like a spicy mango salad. They like shred up a mango. They add a little fish sauce, some chilies, some other stuff. Oh, so good. Yeah, Thai food in general. You think it's worth paying $60K a year for college? No. If I would say if it's an Ivy League school, maybe. Like if you get into Harvard, Okay, like a Harvard degree, or there's a handful of schools where I would say maybe. That's actually an interesting question because I coached at my first couple coaching gigs were at schools where we gave rugby scholarships. It made school cheaper, and then I was a lot of college rugby in America that are like varsity programs where they offer scholarship. It's still like they'll take something off of tuition, but they're still expensive schools. And so the reason I went to Iowa Central Community College, which is where I last coached for the last 4 years, was by Fartcoin. I'm a Bitcoin dude. Was because like public university, trade school, super good value for the money. So I would say it's worth 60K if you're going to be, if it's like an Ivy League school, if it's a really prestigious school where like, okay, like a degree from this place in this program of study. Yeah, in that case, it might be worth it. I'd say a lot of schools that are charging that, no. Like in a lot of cases, like I went to a state school and I'm really glad. What if I really want to study gender? uh, get the cheapest gender studies degree you possibly can would be my, it's like medical. Yeah, I would agree. Yeah, I'm with you. If it's like medical for sure, law, AI is kind of disrupting that. Like, or even like an economics degree from the University of Chicago. Okay, super valuable. Probably going to pay off pretty quickly. But yeah, the uni. Yep, I agree. You're paying 60K for network in the uni's name. If you're talking the actual knowledge, the nice thing about the internet is you can literally like the world's knowledge is available in this little box right here. Like it's pretty nice. My thoughts on bacon, bro. I love bacon. After Thai food, I literally ate a pound of bacon this morning. My wife teaches us this little class. I agree, AI is the future. My wife teaches a class at the YMCA, and so on like two mornings a week, I just hang out with the kid, the baby. I like make like a big breakfast. This morning, my wife left, and I made a pound of bacon. Made a pound of bacon. I say, actually, to be fair, I didn't eat the whole pound. I saved like a little bit for my wife and stuff, but like I love bacon. After Thai food, my next favorite food in the world is bacon. That's an excellent question. Any social or art degree, you're going to work in a coffee shop. Yeah, I would agree pretty much. Yeah. Yeah. I would not go get a humanities degree from an expensive college. If I was going to get a humanities degree, go to the cheapest place you possibly can, or I don't know, maybe study something slightly more practical. The right age to have children. Happy birthday to Nick Kerr. Happy birthday, Nick Kerr. What up, Richard? He is. What up, Richard? Hi. Waffles or bacon? Waffles or pancakes? Pancakes. Pancakes. If I had to pick waffles or pancakes, it's pancakes for sure. Yep. Waffles are good. But waffles, so a lot of times, like waffles, if they're done really well, like a really good, fluffy Belgian waffle, yeah, I'm down with. But a lot of times I've seen there's more bad waffles than good waffles, whereas most pancakes are pretty good. So I would say with the caveat, I'm gonna say pancakes, but the caveat being if it's elite waffles, I can go down waffles. Nah, nah, ain't got that couch for sale, bro. Right age to have children. I had my first kid at 40. I feel like that may have been, I would have, I don't know, between, whenever you're ready. I don't think there's one right age for that. Like, I think I was ready to be a parent at 30, but I had just met my wife and we had a lot to accomplish. So I think it's different for everybody. I would not recommend anyone have children when they are still a teenager. I think once you're an adult, it's completely different for everyone. If you know you want to have kids, don't wait too long. I'm definitely glad I've started having kids now that I'm right about 40. Your friend Dixie Normus? Y'all getting silly in there. Happy birthday, Dixie Normus. Yo, yo, yo. Oh, man, this is getting spicy in this chat tonight. I like it. Well, I'm Rugby Coach Joe. I'm an American who loves rugby. I've really, really enjoyed all the good questions and all the fun chat tonight. Last call, otherwise I got to get going. I do this every Monday night at this time. I usually go through a little bit of rugby stuff, talk about what I'm going through on the rugby side of things, what's going on internationally. We got MLR coming up in a few weeks. I'm excited about that. Yeah, those USA flags, I like it. Nice. Go America. American rugby, like our women, they're pretty okay. They're competitive internationally. Our men's team, kind of embarrassing. You play soccer, bless you too, man. Appreciate it. I play soccer. What soccer team you back? All right. Last week I had somebody asking me who I was picking for Champions League, and I said one of the Spanish teams. I think I said Real Madrid. I had it's tough. It's tough in the Champions League. It's hard to not pick those Spanish teams. They're so good. I think you can make a case for Arsenal right now. It's hard to count Barca out. Barca's always going to be. Rugby's illegal in your country? No way. No way. Rugby can't be illegal. Rugby's the best, man. Rugby's the best. Yeah, I'm trying to think. There was one other team in that Champions League that I was thinking, I'm sticking with Real Madrid on that. I'm a Nottingham Forest fan in the EPL, which is very random, and it's a very rough season to be a Nottingham Forest fan. I just hope we stay up. We still make it. We're still going in the Europa League and all, but no. American rugby, though. American rugby has a massive opportunity coming with hosting the World Cups in 2031 and 2033. I really, really, really hope that we can get behind like our number one superstar, Alona Mar, and back her and help. Hey, that's an opportunity to get more kids playing rugby. Okay, we have a huge superstar who's globally known, who's very huge, like highest profile by far of any rugby player ever in American history. We got to pump that. We got to get more kids playing. I just want to see us do good on a global stage because as an American who's like given my life to this sport and made this sport my life, like watching our national team continue to struggle on the men's side, it's tough to take. It's tough to take. Nobody likes being a loser, but when you back the USA Eagles at rugby, you got to deal with being a loser too often. But thank you all for being here. I got to get out of here. Baby's got to go to bed. I got to kiss the baby and everything. I appreciate you all. This has been fun. I'll be back next week, same time. Take care. Go American Rugby. Love you all. Armani, appreciate the chat, bro. That was really good chat at the front end. Hold on. We just got a whole bunch more people on here. What the heck is going on here? Does YouTube think I got something useful to say? I don't know. Baby's not there. Love rugby, dude. Rugby's that's a South African last name. That's like a South African, maybe like a Namibian last name right there. Rian van Wyk. I know a Milan van Wyk who I played with coached last summer. He was a baller. He was a Namibian in America. You're South African? Yep. Checks out. No, I love rugby too, man. Rugby's the best. It's giving me the coolest life ever. I gotta go though. Baby's going to bed. I appreciate you all. Like, subscribe, yada, yada, yada. I come on here every week. I'll be on for the Six Nations again this next weekend, doing a little bit of live commentary. Hold up. One more. Yes, you got something useful to say. YouTube knows that. Thank you, man. I appreciate it. Yep, I'm just out here trying to spread love. Hopefully a little bit of knowledge of rugby. Tell about my thing. Thanks, dude. Appreciate the sub. Have a good night. Take care.